Still here, day one of Eurogamer Expo. You probably recognise this room because this is where we did the Tomb Raider interview. That's probably already up. If it's not up, that will sound a bit weird, so whatever. This is Torben, and we're here to talk about Hitman Absolution, as you may have guessed. Torben, hello.
Hi.
I've had a chance to play the game, and I've seen it twice before, I think. Every time I see it, it looks better. It's the first time I've had a chance to play it, though. And to be honest, as I was saying to you a minute ago, I got stuck, but you were talking about sort of the options Hitman gives you, and you're certainly right. I mean, I tried disguising myself as a chef, and that's obviously important for the Hitman series, is to have that kind of flexibility.
Yes. Disguise gameplay, social stealth, hiding in crowds, learning where your targets move, where he has lunch, where he goes off to talk to his dealer, things like that. But you can always approach the situation much more, should we say, aggressively, if you choose to. Yeah. But just the Chinatown Square hit, that has 12 specific kill scenarios that we have challengers hooked up to, and I know of at least one other one that's an Easter egg on that level. And then of course we have all of the possibilities with weapons and kooky disguises. So really the decision of how you want to pull off a kill is entirely up to you as a player. And if you don't pull it off as silent assassin the first time, which most people won't, myself included, you go back and try again.
Certainly. I mean, obviously you've got the new Instinct in this time. Was that like, given sort of the past of Hitman games, was it a difficult decision to put in that kind of player hint system almost, where you're sort of seeing guard paths and the way your target's moving? Well,
fundamentally I don't think so, because Agent 47 is the world's greatest assassin. He has an instinctive understanding of how people move in crowds, of where to stand, of what is important for him to pay attention to. So Instinct is a gameplay mechanic that's about enabling the player's experience. And Instinct is also linked up to two other gameplay mechanics, blending in. So if you've got a disguise and someone becomes suspicious because the police think, oh, wait a second, that 2-meter tall, bald-headed guy, who's he again? You can burn your Instinct to blend in for a time. But if you do that, you maybe won't have Instinct available to do point shooting. Yeah. So what we did fundamentally was we said, okay, we want to enable the player experience, but we also want to make it a risk-reward choice. So if you want to spend your Instinct on one thing, well, maybe you can't use it for something else.
Do you want to tell us about the point shooting mechanic for those who can't get down to the expo and play the game for themselves?
Point shooting, basically once you have a certain amount of Instinct, you can enter Instinct mode and then enter point shooting mode. And then you basically mark your targets, a bit like the kill mechanic in Red Dead Redemption. 1, 2, 3. And then 47 executes the kills for you. Very cleanly, very effectively. But that will finish your Instinct to do that. So it's kind of something that you do because you have to. It's a strategic decision you make about how you want to handle a situation.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it, and it's a nice little mechanic, and graphically, the game is sort of looking gorgeous, and particularly the way Instinct works, and the slow-mo effects in there are so wonderful. Was it something that was sort of a real focus for you to get that?
Well, we really wanted to go down the road of sort of the film noir, the gritty urban legend, the Americana influences. So we really did look at lighting and slow motion and sound and all of these things to really deliver an enjoyable gameplay experience. So when you pull off a really great kill, we pay it off in as many ways as we can to add to the experience of doing it.
Like you've got this. The disguise mechanics and things in there, and the blending in. But the important thing for me is the crowds in this. Just playing it then, they felt like the most sort of realistic crowds I've played with. Partly because, like Assassin's Creed games get a lot of praise for their crowd tech, but in this, the crowd doesn't just flow around you; it gets in your way as you're trying to see stuff. And was it difficult to get the crowds to feel so real compared to other games?
I mean, we spent a lot of time and energy on building Glacier 2, which is the engine Absolution runs on, Hitman Absolution runs on, and a lot of that time was spent building this powerful crowd tech that can handle these things. But also facts that while the crowd does need to does need to act as a unit. They do need to be individuals as well. So if you wade into a crowd and start hitting people and stuff, everyone in the crowd will then begin to act independently. And handling that transition from a group to a group of units is not a trivial thing, technically speaking.
Yeah, I sort of, you see the way things sort of ripple out through the crowd, that it's not an immediate response. If you start punching just a crowd member, for example, it's not an immediate reaction from everyone. It sort of ripples out, which is it's a lovely effect.
And also it allows you to keep control of the situation. Yeah. So if a police officer becomes, or a guard or a drug dealer becomes suspicious of you, and you can lure them away by faking a surrender where no one else can see you, then you can deal with them and take control of the situation again. It's not sort of a, oh no, now everyone's coming gunning for you thing.
You were speaking a little bit earlier about Silent Assassin, which is obviously a huge point of the series, particularly for hardcore fans. Was it obvious to bring that back, and have you expanded on the ways that it's implementing the game compared to older Hitman games?
Well, what we've really focused on doing is staying true to the core pillars of the franchise. The fact that the clean kill is really what 47 is best at. You can pull things off in different ways if you want to. You can complete the game. You can have a great experience. But if you want to go back and unlock those vaunted silent assassin ratings, well, then you really do need to do it the way 47 would do it.
With this new game, do you feel that it's going to be easy for new fans of the series or people who haven't played before to come into? I mean, obviously, like you're saying, even long-time fans aren't going to get in first time, aren't going to get Silent Assassin. But do you think it's going to be easy for new people to come into and enjoy the game?
I think it's going to be the most accessible assassin game around, because we guide you into it. And the Chinatown Square experience is a good one, because the way he moves around tells you that you need to be aware that your targets can move, and maybe your targets will expose themselves as they do that. So we help players into the mindset of choosing your moment to make a kill, not just running in guns blazing.
Sure. I think that's all I've really got to say about the game. It's wonderful, though, from what I've seen. Like I say, every time I see it, it gets better and better.
The one thing I'd just like to pick up on, though, contracts mode.
Oh, yes.
Have you had a chance to look at that?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Would you like to tell us a little about it?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that. Chinatown Square, you've played that?
Yes.
Who do you think should be a target there?
The sort of main guy.
If you were to choose
to choose anyone else?
Who would you choose to put an assassin, to put a hit out on?
Probably maybe one of the chefs.
Okay. Yeah. How would you do it?
Oh, that's tricky. I would try and lure them away from where they are, because they've sort of got police around them there, and pull them off to the side.
What contracts mode lets you do is that. Okay. You go into the level, mark them as a target, lure them away, kill them, exit the level, and you've created a contract.
Oh, okay.
You can then share it with your mates, save it online, and your score goes with it. So when you share this with your mates, they'll see, okay, he pulled it off with a score of 250,000. I can do better.
So it's sort of similar to Race Ghosts, I would suppose. Is it sort of that kind of aspect, or
something like that? Just substantially better tailored to the Hitman experience. Fundamentally, what you do is you go into a level and you mark up to 3 people as targets. The way you take them out, the weapons you use, the disguises you use, if you hide the bodies, if you're seen, all of these elements become part of the contract that you create. So any level in the game can become a hit.
Oh, that sounds brilliant, actually. That's a lovely expansion on the core mechanics, and a good way to bring a multiplayer element in without bringing flat-out multiplayer into the game.
I mean, it fits within the franchise. 47 works alone, but our fans have done this forever. They've pulled off weird and wonderful hits in the game, and we thought about, okay, let's add a social aspect to the game, but what makes sense? And we looked at what our fans were doing, and we built a gameplay mechanic that would allow them to do that. So when you perform contracts, you earn money. With the money, you upgrade your weapons and buy disguises. Weapons and disguises allow you to pull off more interesting contracts. Actually, a little bit later today at the dev session, we'll actually be showing off how you create a contract on Hope in the little town of Hope, South Dakota, and then 3 radically different ways to pull off the same contract, as an action playthrough, as a sniper playthrough, and indeed as a stealth playthrough.
People should. I mean, it's probably going to go up after that, but people should definitely check out. You've got a demo on the show floor. It's the Chinatown Square one, isn't it?
Contracts mode is not available, playable here. But definitely check out barcode-society.com, where we've got a bunch of videos and links about contracts mode, because we are actually going to be able to see who really is the ultimate assassin now.
I like it. Torben, thank you very much for talking to us. Check out Hitman Absolution. It's on the show floor. We will be back soon with more EGX coverage.